$20 for a haircut, $100 a haircut, $500 for a haircut, $12 for a haircut. That's what I'm talking about today, is haircut pricing. And I'd love to know, even if you want to pause the video and in the comments below, let me know how much you are paying for your haircut. But as a hairstylist for over 30 years, I want to share my opinions on haircut pricing. There is this rage all over social media, particularly with barbers. You don't really see it with hairstylists, and I'm a hairstylist, I'm not a barber, but you see a lot of barbers on social media boasting and bragging, oh, I'm $100 a haircut. Everyone's going for 100. Why not 110? Why not 150? Everyone seems to just jumping to 100, right? I'm going from 60 to 100. Okay, that's great. I think a lot of people are doing that now because of either ego or they feel it's time. I have no idea. Everyone deserves a price raise in the hair industry, because when you think about it, like if you're working in a professional environment or a corporate job, you're getting, paid vacations, you're getting all these benefits and perks that we typically don't get. So I totally agree that we as hair professionals need to raise our prices. Now, when it comes to the actual art of haircutting, does a higher price haircut mean a better haircut? That is what the focus of the video is for today. I can honestly say, in my opinion, working with people who have charged $1,200, $1,300 for a haircut, yes, that actually exists. I knew a guy, I think he was at $1,200, $1,300 for a haircut. I've known people at $700, $800. They are very, very talented and very, very skilled. Does that mean every single haircut is going to be perfect? Not necessarily. However, the bar is raised much higher. Let's take, for example, $150 or $200 for a woman's haircut. I'll talk about men's haircuts in a second. Yes, in my opinion, the reason that most people are charging that price, one, it's probably like an affluent area that they're working in. Two, they probably have been through some sort of level system or tier system in a lot of salons. If they start you off as like level 1, level 2, level 1's at 50, level 2's, 80, level 3's like 100, and, so they have level systems, or if they're a creative director. But you get in that position by showing how skilled and how talented you are. You can't charge a premium price for a service and you're just mediocre at what you do. So if anyone is out there charging higher tier pricing, it's because they've earned it through their skill levels, through the whole picture, okay? The salon they work in, the area they work in, all of it plays a big factor in that price. Now, when it comes to less expensive haircuts, that's just, again, on the women's haircuts, does that mean that the haircut is going to be worse? Well, I would say you have a higher chance of getting a better haircut paying more money than paying less money. But here is the catch, and here's where a lot of people get this wrong. And I hear this all the time, and I see comments on my videos on, let's just say I have a haircut that I've done. It's a feathered, layered women's haircut, short feathered layers, like classic, beautiful haircut. The biggest comment that I get, Salon Guy, no one can cut hair like this. No, well, here's the thing, is sometimes styles are a bit more of a classic style that was popular maybe in the 70s or the 80s. Most hairstylists who are entering into the industry or who are like under the age of like 40 probably haven't done those haircuts before, and they don't have people asking for them. So if you are booking a haircut that is a very classical type of shape that was popular maybe in the 60s or 70s or even 80s, and you're going to Samantha, who's 27 years old, charging $150 for a haircut, and all she does all day is like platinum blondes and like, pixie haircuts and long layer flowing, wavy haircut, all that kind of stuff. Like the modern trends, they've probably never even come close to doing a haircut like a short feathered layered haircut. So it's not necessarily the individual, it's that they just don't do that type of work. And that is stuff that I've seen hands-on, even for myself, working in a salon, for different salons for over 30 years. I've been in situations where I'm like, you know what, that's not my thing. Like, I don't specialize in that. I'd rather somebody else do it, because in the end, it's going to end up a disaster, a crime scene. I'd rather have someone else do it who specializes, like perms. I stopped doing perms so long ago. I'm not going to be doing a perm on Betty who's 85 or roller sets. That leave that for the stylist who specializes in that. All right. So when it comes to pricing, I would say yes, the higher tiered price is probably going to be the better end result. Can you get a good haircut? I'm talking women's haircuts specifically. I'll get into men's haircuts in a second, but can you specifically get a good women's haircut at a lower price? Possibly, yes, of course. It just depends on what you are looking for. Most of the time, the pricing is made around the area, right? What's the area? Is it more middle lower class, middle upper class? Like if you're in an area where like the average person's making $10,000 a year salary, I can assure you that the haircut price is going to be like $12. Okay, so it all depends on the area. And every situation is different. I've always worked in very affluent, high-end areas, and even myself, seeing private clients, I've always charged a premium price. And that's that. So let's go to men's haircuts now. When it comes to a men's haircut, I think it kind of is the same thing. But there's a big difference between a barber and a hairstylist. A hairstylist who does men's hair like myself, I'm more of a hybrid. I actually became very, very good at cutting men's hair, but with a hairstylist approach. And that's why when guys would come to me, and if I wasn't around and they had a friend who's a barber, they'd go to him and come back to me going, dude, like, he's just not you, man. Like the love and care and the way you shape the hair, it's a whole different experience with you. And I'm like, well, that's me. Yeah, I bring that skill level to the table. Does everyone do that? No. And one of the other things that I see is being that I do virtual consultations, and just to touch upon that real quick, you can see it's going to pop up in the screen. I now have 2 types of consultations or evaluations, which I'm really, really happy about. The first one, and I've had to split this up because it was just getting so out of control with so many people booking appointments with me. So I've got one version, and the first version is where you submit a couple of photos, you tell me some of your hair issues, and then I give you an analysis on what works best, what you can say to your barber, your stylist, and then I recreate hand-created images of your face with different hairstyles that I think would be best for you. So there's no Zoom call. I just need a couple of days turnaround time. I then email you these photos and all the information, and you have this as a reference, which is very, very helpful. Instead of you going on the internet, searching for hours, not being sure. Most of the times when I do virtual consultations, which is the premium service, the majority of times the stylist or the barber is just not giving that client what they deserve. Everyone deserves a good haircut. 98% of people who I've seen, like there's a small percentage who have a good talented stylist who are willing to work with them, and I do the consulting, and then they work with their stylist based off of what I say. I mean, it is what it is, but like there are really good people out there, but the majority of clients that I talk to in these consultations, they don't know what they're not getting. They don't know what could be better. They don't know what their stylist is doing wrong. That's where I dissect it, where I can save you so much money and time and torture of getting awful haircuts and help you get the best haircut for you. That's where I have the premium virtual consultation now, the one-on-one virtual live Zoom call, to where I also create hand images for you, but you're getting me live, and that's a bit more of a premium service. I've had to upgrade the service and set 2 different price points because you're getting me, and it's a lot of time. I put a lot of effort and bring tons of value into these calls. Imagine how I'm talking right here. It's the same exact way. I'm super in depth, and I bring as much value as I possibly can. You can see those here right in the screen. So anywhere in the world, you can do that. So when it comes to the haircuts, I have had clients say, oh, I pay my guy, $60 or $70, or oh, I pay like $15. I'm like, well, if you're just walking into a random barber shop or a random, chain salon that charges $12 for a haircut and they spend 15 minutes, it could be hack job city. It depends on how much you value your appearance. That's totally fine. If you're one of those laid back people who are like, oh, I don't even care how my hair looks, I just go I walk in any place and get my haircut, it costs me 12, 15 bucks, give her a $5 tip, big whoop, 20 bucks max for a haircut. I go in once a month and I don't even care, and it looks okay to me. That's great. But if it depends, again, on you as an individual, what you're looking for. If you're tired of getting bad haircuts, if you're tired of something is not right, then maybe it's time to do a consultation with me. Maybe it's time to start to find a better, more premium type of person to go to. How do you do that? This is the last big part of this whole thing. The mystery is, how do you find a good person? I need to find a good guy. I need to find a good girl. What do I do? And this goes with any service, hair coloring, cutting, all that stuff. I always say, and this is probably the only option, is you have to become a bit of a detective where you go on Google Maps and then you look for reviews in that area. You start to see what names are being mentioned. Oh, Steven's, he's amazing. I love Steven, or Tom is great, or Melissa's great, whatever. And then start to see, what do they specialize in? Maybe go to their Instagram account, go to their website. It becomes very, very difficult, and it's not easy. It's not an easy process to find someone, but that's the only and best way you can do to try to narrow it down, at least, instead of just calling up cold, some random salon who never, you don't even do any research. You just, it's 5 miles away, let me call them. No. Call up the salon, call the barbershop. Hey, do you have anyone who specializes in men's hair, longer hair types, like layering and scissor cuts? If you're gonna go to like Jose's Skin Fades and expect a long flowing Bradley Cooper haircut, that may not be a good fit, Or if you go to Teresa's Chop Shop and you want like this long flowing, beautiful layered haircut, maybe that's not the right thing, So you have to match up with what you want. And it really comes down to all of that. So does paying a higher price mean a better service? Most of the time, yes, in my opinion. I can't guarantee it. Of course, there's going to be mixed results, but out of the thousands of clients that I've trained, the hundreds of salons I've been in, the major companies I've worked for, meeting all sorts of different professionals, the majority of people who are charging premium pricing, they are better. However, if you are, and you're a professional watching this, and let's just say you are booked to the max, you are getting compliments, you do phenomenal work, maybe it's time you do raise your pricing or go to a more premium salon, or maybe rent your own studio or suite so you can charge those premium prices. Like, you deserve that. Everybody deserves the best, right? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on all of this. What's your experience been? Does paying more get you better results? Men or women, any service, color, blow dry, whatever it is. I'd love to know. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you soon.